The beginning of a dictatorship. Hitler's rise to Nazism. After World War I, Germany was left defeated, angry, and struggling to survive. The Treaty of Versailles forced Germany to accept responsibility for the war and to pay huge debts, which caused poverty and chaos in Germany. Many German citizens lost their trust in the government because they felt humiliated and powerless. Adolf Hitler took advantage of this opportunity to gain support for the Nazis. He promised to fix Germany and restore pride to the country, but in reality, he's creating his own dictatorship in Germany. Ultimately, Germany was struggling, and Hitler took advantage of the anger that fueled them after the war.
The treaty hurt Germany's economy so bad that inflation made German money invaluable. Many Germans could not concede their country's defeat in World War I, and many blamed Jews for spreading defeatism. Because their lives were getting worse, people felt better about supporting the Hitler movement and believed in his promises of leadership and unity in Germany.
The Weimar Republic, Germany's government, struggled to survive. It was impossible to form a majority government because political parties refused to work together. In 1923, Hitler tried to force a revolution through the Beer Hall Putsch, but the government stopped him. 16 Nazis were killed, and Hitler was arrested. After being released, he changed his strategy. Instead of trying to take power by his own force, he decided to do it legally. He rebuilt the Nazi Party and tried to appear like a respectful and responsible leader who had nothing but good things to come for Germany. Hitler also pushed a revolutionary message during this time. He said Germany could only be saved by removing Jews from society. Nazi propaganda claimed that taking away Jewish influence would automatically lead to increased prosperity and a recovered sense of social safety. Although this message was not true, it was impactful for the future of the Jews.
By the late 1920s and early 1930s, the Great Depression made life even worse. Businesses closed, unemployment increased, and families suffered. This crisis helped Hitler gain even more followers. The Nazi Party grew from 3% of the vote in 1924 to 18.3% in 1930, and by 1932, the Nazis became the largest party in Germany. Studies show that the worse the economy was, the more people voted for the Nazis. Areas more severely affected by austerity had relatively higher vote shares for the Nazi Party. People truly believed Hitler could fix Germany's problems.
On January 30th, 1933, Hitler became chancellor, but he was not yet a dictator. But that changed very quickly. The Reichstag fire in February gave Hitler the excuse to expand his revolutionary movement by destroying people's rights. The Reichstag fire decree allowed restrictions on personal liberty, freedom of the press, assembly, and association. This allowed Hitler to arrest political enemies. After this, the Enabling Act happened. The Enabling Act allowed the Reich government to issue laws without the consent of Germany's parliament. This law completed Hitler's act against democracy. By July 1933, the Nazi Party was the only legal political party. Hitler's revolution had replaced democracy with his own one-party dictatorship.
To protect his revolutionary power, Hitler used violence. In 1934, during the Night of Long Knives, around 400 people were killed, including his former friends and political rivals. This proved that Hitler would remove anyone who threatened his revolution. The Nazis also changed everyday German life. They created groups for children, teachers, doctors, lawyers, and other professions to infiltrate already existing social structures and spread Nazi ideas. Their revolution reached every school, job, and community. Anti-Jewish laws also became important to this transformation. The Nazis institutionalized anti-Semitism, introducing discriminatory and increasingly oppressive laws, beginning in 1933. These laws removed Jews from schools, businesses, and public life. Soon, Jews lost their citizenship and the right to participate in society at all.
Du, meine Arbeit für richtig hältst. Ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
Hitler's speech at the Krupp factory was meant to convince the workers there that Hitler worked hard for Germany and that they should give him support in return. He had also praised their labor and even claimed that everyone in the nation needs to stand together as one. Hitler used his speech to justify Germany's growing military power, saying that it is necessary for the country's futures. The speech was just used as a huge propaganda. Propaganda also helped the Nazis control how people thought. Films showed Jews as subhuman and dangerous, while other films praised Hitler and glorified the Nazi movement. After the war began, propaganda hid mass murder by forcing Jewish prisoners to send fake postcards saying they were fine.
Hitler's sudden rise was not a surprise. It was planned many years earlier. In 1920, the Nazi Party published the 25 points, which explained their goals. One point explained how only a member of a race can be a citizen, and that no Jew can be a member of the race. This proves that Hitler's plan has always been to destroy the government and replace it with one leader. When Hitler passed later laws like the Enabling Act, he was following ideas he had already written down years earlier.
The Nazi Party also focused a lot on citizenship and belonging. They stated that only people of German blood could be citizens and that Jews could never be members of the nation. This shows that Hitler's revolution was not just political, but was also social. From the beginning, the Nazis planned to change who was allowed to belong in Germany. This eventually led to laws that kept the Jews from having a normal life.
Hitler and the Nazis not only had an impact on Germany, but they changed the entire world. One major impact was the start of World War II. In a speech before invading Poland, Hitler said Germany had suffered under the torture of the Treaty of Versailles. He also claimed that Polish soldiers attacked Germany first, saying since 5:45 a.m. we had been returning fire, even though this was not true. These statements helped Hitler convince many Germans that war was necessary. His dictatorship led directly to a global problem that caused millions of deaths and damage across Europe.
Another long-term impact was the Holocaust. Nazi beliefs about race led to the killing of millions of Jews. Hitler believed that mixing Aryan blood with other groups would ruin German society. This idea influenced Nazi leaders and helped create laws that targeted Jewish people. Over time, this led to large murders. The Holocaust became one of the most tragic results of Hitler's revolution.
Hitler's actions also changed how the world understands genocide. Norman Naimark explains that past genocides provided both precedent and excuse for current ones. This means that studying what happened in Nazi Germany helps people see what will happen later and prevent similar things. The Nazis taught the world that protecting human rights early is very important. If people wait too long to deal with hatred and violence, the results can be extremely bad.
Hitler's rise to power was a revolution, but it was not a positive one. Instead of giving people more freedom, it took freedom away. His choices caused World War II, the Holocaust, and a lasting impact across the world. His actions display how one leader can completely change a nation. It also shows that revolutions built on fear and anger can lead to destruction instead of positivity. This is why learning about the Nazis is important today. It reminds us that not every revolution leads to improvement. Some revolutions cause harm.